So if you work with automotive locks and keys, it's practically impossible to avoid Honda high security keys. Now, for a bunch of different reasons, well, you're gonna deal with a lot of them. There's a lot of breakage, there's a lot of wear, and it can be a great money maker for you. But part of that is making sure you have a good machine to not only cut by code, but to duplicate Honda high security keys. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna take you through a walkthrough with the Triton Plus. It has some absolutely amazing features to help you with Honda high security. Now, make sure you watch towards the end because I'm gonna show you a really cool feature that you're gonna wish you had a long time ago. All right, so we have our Honda ignition right here and we have our key. So we'll go ahead and decode this key, cut a new one by code, and then we're gonna test it. So the first thing we'll do here is we'll go to automotive. Let's type in Honda. Let's go to Civic 2020, and then we'll click on that there. All right, so now that we're here, so what we want to do is decode, but once again, let's talk about this for a minute. So we're just using the S1B, and once again, we can just use whatever cutter and decoder that we want, which we'll just use the standard 1mm decoder and 2mm cutter. So let's go ahead and do some decoding here. All right, so it's gonna want us to use the 1-inch decoder, no big deal, or the 1mm decoder. And then over here, you'll see we're gonna put it in the second slot. All right, so we'll open up the shield here. We're gonna get that put in right there to that second line. Now, something that's important while you're decoding it is you're always wanting to watch and make sure it's hitting the proper spots, as you see there. And that did good, especially, now let's say there was a couple little key shavings that were in the way, right? And that somehow when you put it in and got it all lined up, were in the way, or during calibration, when it was calibrating, it hit one of those and messed it up a little bit. If you're not paying attention, you'll be able to go through the whole thing and then you're gonna have a key that doesn't work. And so you're gonna have material wasted, you're gonna have time wasted, and probably a little frustration to go along with it. So anytime you're doing decoding in particular, you really, really, really wanna watch and make sure that everything is going to plan and that it's hitting all the correct spots. All right, so we have this key decoded. So now is what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and take our blank key we got right here. Let's get it put in. Now we already know it's gonna want us to go right to that spot there. The speed, everything's set up. Now, something that's really awesome again on here is that cut depth. So it's going to allow you to adjust it as you need, which is a absolute fantastic feature. I mean, the fact on an easy screen right here, we can choose the cutter we want to use. We can choose the speed at which it cuts, which is really important when you're having to cut a steel or a nickel silver key, and as well as the cut depth, absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and cut it. All right, so we have one side done here. Let's go ahead and just clean everything off. Okay. So we got that. Let's get the key put back on the other side here. All right. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit cut again. All right, so let's go ahead, get the key out here, brush it off. All right, so went ahead and I just put the key on a buffer wheel really quick, got it all nice and cleaned and smoothed up. Let's give it a try here. There we go. One side, two side. We are good to go. Now I want to bring up one other thing here really quick, okay? And that is, so we went ahead and we cut it by code, but you don't have to, because really is what all we need to do is duplicate that key. So you can go right here to trace duplication. We go down here to the very bottom to Honda in particular. Check this out. Look how it, there's side A and side B, and it actually cuts it at an angle there, which I find very, very cool. So that's another option. You know, these keys can be tough. And so the more options you have available, the better it is for you. So how cool is that you're able to cut it at that angle, which can be really beneficial. All right, now how cool is that? All of the options that you have available to you are great. They're gonna help you get the job done. And how cool is it, that feature I showed you at the very end there about dealing with some of the used high security keys. I wanna talk about that for just a little longer, okay? And that is because depending on the wear of the key, it is practically impossible to cut it properly because the webbing, right? The webbing on the sides of the keys is not enough to actually grip and cut and leads to all sorts of problems. So having that ability, it's really the first time I've seen it on a machine. And I think it's an absolute winner to have that tool in your tool belt when dealing with Honda high security. But of course, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below, and make sure you include the hashtag Lockboss to automatically get entered in to win one of 5 free prizes we give away each week here on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.